Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on my 2008 Saturn Vue with a 3.6 liter GM in it. I've been having a check engine light on here that I've been largely ignoring for a long time. When I hook my reader up to it, it's the heated oxygen sensor. Bank 1, sensor 1, I've got two different faults on that. I replaced the sensor in it, and normally I don't suggest doing that because usually the heated oxygen sensors are just doing their job and telling you there's something wrong with the system. But in this case, as soon as I clear the code and turn the car back on, it comes right back on, and that's telling me there's a fault with the heated oxygen sensor itself. If it was catalyst insufficiency or something wrong with the exhaust or catalyst, it would take a while for the code to set because it would have to reach certain parameters in order for it to throw a check engine light. So in this case, I went ahead and replaced the O2 sensor on bank 1, sensor 1. Your sensor 1 O2 sensor is the upstream sensor, so the first one that you see on both of your banks, and then you have a downstream sensor that's on the other side of the catalytic converter. So in my case, there's 4 altogether. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to clear these codes. Yes. And then I'm going to show you how I replace the sensor inside the car. All right, so this is the old sensor here, and these heated oxygen sensors have a heating element in them, and they're 4-wire sensors. So typically what happens is the heating element inside the sensor fails, which throws the code. It's either shorted or open or whatever, and that's why the code throws so fast. If it had been something wrong with the cat, like it's plugged or if it's not working, you'll get an insufficiency code, and it'll take a while for it to set after you clear it. In order to get to it, you're going to have to pull this off and the purge valve off to make it easier. Sensor 1, bank 1, that means the bank of cylinders is the first bank, so that'll be the side closest to your firewall. Bank 2 would be the side closest to the front of your grille in my application for the Saturn. I think it's the same for like the Chevy Traverse and the other engines or the other models that use the 3.6 liter. But what I did is I pulled the plastic cover off here. This just pops off like so. And then always put your oil cap back on here so you don't drop nothing down there. Then your sensor is way down here. You can see I have a brand new plug, and it's down. You can reach there if you've got long enough arms. It's not really that difficult, but you're going to want to pull this purge valve off here. I already have replaced this purge valve back when I did the timing chain on this. I do have a video on that if you want to see that, but I'll show you real quick here. You just pull this plug off right here, then you push this plastic line has to come off here, and this plastic line has to come off here, and there's 2 different ways. So this one you push down with your thumb and pull it straight out. It's hard to do with one hand. Then this one has a little tab. You push down and out. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then you push out, and then this whole thing comes out. There's a rubber piece right here that kind of holds that. And then once that's out, that'll give you free access to the sensor, which is way down there on the exhaust. So you just follow this wire and pull this clip off. Now, O2 sensors, they have wires coming off them, so you can't put a socket down on it directly. But what you can do is I've got this fancy O2 sensor socket. That's what it's actually called. And that will go around the wire. So it'll essentially look like this. It's a 7/8 socket. And then it'll look like that when you're down on it, and then you can crank it off. If you're pulling the old one off and you don't care about the wires, you can cut the wires and put a regular socket on, and then you can twist in the new one and just use a wrench. The problem with this particular application is that where it sits down on the frame down there, or not, excuse me, down on the exhaust, is that it's kind of recessed in, so it's hard to get a wrench on. I'm gonna put the camera down here, see if you guys can see it. I know it's kind of dark, but that's the sensor there. I should probably get a light. But anyway, it's recessed in, so it's hard to get a wrench. So it's better to use a socket in this application. The new sensor comes with NACs, the high temp NACs around the threads, so you don't have to worry about applying any. And then essentially you just screw the new one in, you plug in the connector, and then you reassemble the purge valve. And reassembling the purge valve is just as simple as putting this back on the rubber, putting this hose back on here, make sure that it's facing the right way, put this hose back on this side, and then you put the wires back on. not a too terribly hard of a task. You can do it relatively easily, and then clear the code and then go for a drive, make sure it works. So anyway, hope that helps somebody. If you like what I do on this channel, maybe consider subscribing, and every once in a while hit that like button. See you guys in the next one.